Traveling to Oshkosh for EAA AirVenture is part of how we live in Wisconsin. Cal Larson is live at the grounds this morning for day one of the event. Hi, Cal.
Hey, I'm standing here at beautiful Boeing Plaza this morning. A ton of excitement. People are finally starting to wake up and get going. You can hear all the energy in the air, feel the energy. Dick Nepinski with EA Director of Communications with us. Dick, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Opening day and great weather. How can you go wrong?
You really can't go wrong. And we got a beautiful backdrop here for us. What are you looking forward to? What's the excitement level this morning?
Well, it's just everything coming together. You spend all year planning for this kind of event, and to see the airplanes come in, for instance, the B-52 landing yesterday here, and just starting to fill up that ramp, and the airfield is full, thousands of people, more than 800 exhibitors, 1,500 presentations, and all kicking off right about now.
It's going to be so fun out here. You broke the previous attendance record last year. You hoping to again?
Well, you never know. You know, it's an outdoor event, and so if it rains in Wisconsin, your crowd's a little bit lower. But right now, you know, we'll leave that up to your weather guys to figure that one out. But it is something that we're looking at 600,000 plus probably once again this year. And last year we had them from more than 90 countries, and we fully expect that again this year.
Oh, so awesome that people make that trip. And what are the B-52 bomber here? Give us a little rundown of this plane quick.
Well, this is a 70-year-old bomber that started off back in the 1950s, and they're still flying and still very effective. They say they might fly for another 40 years because they just keep updating it. And so we very rarely have one on the ground here. I think this is only the third or fourth time we've actually had one here on the ground. But they brought it in from Edwards Air Force Base out in California, landed it here, and it really leads off the things for the Air Force Material Command being here all week.
All right, there's a lot going on. We can't do the whole schedule of events. You and I would need about 15 or 20 minutes to do that. But for people who maybe haven't been here before, or people who have been here 20, 30, 40 years, is there something this year that might be new, they need to go check out, or just an all-time favorite that people should go toward?
Yeah, what I'm excited about this year is the centennial of the Royal Canadian Air Force. We have the Snowbirds coming in a little bit later on this week, but some of the airplanes that will be here, Lancaster bomber, only one flying in North America, will be here. Some great World War II airplanes, the Skyhawks from the Canadian Forces, Royal Canadian Air Force, and their F-18 will be here doing a demo as well. So that's going to be a special part of this year.
Oh, it's all special. Dick, thank you. Thanks for taking the time. Guys, a great event. Obviously, we can't say it enough. It's going to be a lot of very, very fun days out here. We'll have more coming for you a little bit later. We're going to try and talk to the people who, well, help run this B-52. So that's coming up.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Cal. Part of how we live is enjoying the sights and sounds of EAA AirVenture each year in Oshkosh. And Fox 11's Cal Larson is there this morning for day one. Hi, Cal.
Rachel, good morning. That is part of how we live, of course. Well, part of how people around the world live. Here we go, folks. Another year for EAA AirVenture. Real quick, let's take you over to the schedule of today's events. That's what we want to talk first thing this morning, because EAA, of course, goes through Sunday. Well, Monday's going to get off to a great start. So we'll zoom in and show you the schedule of events here. 7 a.m. Things get going. Powered parachutes. We're going to take you right down the list. Balloon tether operations overlapping with that. Ultralights, light sport, and then of course they have some reviews, some exhibits all going on throughout the morning, 10 a.m. to noon for those. Other shows, let's see, in the Fun Fly Zone, the Daily Air Show, maybe the premier event that people might want to see today, 2:30 to 6:30. Another Ultralights light show. They have some special guests being shown off. And then the Balloon Glow from 8 to 9:30. And then this evening, late this evening, 8:30 to 10:30, Fighter Squadron. So again, it's going to be, what, 7, 8 days of a great event here. We are standing kind of in the smack dab of the grounds here. Now, believe it or not, from Ashwaubenon, never been to EAA. So this is my first taste, everybody. We're giving you a good look at all these planes here. These are the exhibit hangars we're standing in the center of. So a couple different planes coming from all over the world. You got some from the Great Lakes here, some from Kansas. Look, some people up and early running this morning. I want to talk to you guys real quick about some quick facts as we make our way over, just so we can show you off some of these beautiful planes here this morning. Last year, EAA set an attendance record. Well, guess what? They broke it again, or they set it in 2022. They broke it in 2023 with 677,000 people coming to Oshkosh. Can you believe it? Over 80 countries represented and more than 10,000 aircrafts flying in. You're getting a look at one of the more than 10,000 that flew in today. Guys, it's going to be a great week out here for those who know EAA. They're excited. For people who have never been, they're excited. well, I guess I'm in that category. We'll have a couple more things to show you and talk to you about this morning. Hopefully have a couple guests for you. But it's a beautiful morning here, and we'll have a lot to cover.
Yeah, what a beautiful morning. Enjoy day one. Thanks, Cal. For people go. He is excited. Yeah, he should be. And I've been there so many times, early morning hours like Cal, and it is just fun to be there. You kind of get like a little private look at these planes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pete. Traveling to Oshkosh for EAA AirVenture is part of how we live in Wisconsin. Cal Larson is live at the grounds this morning for day one of the event. Hi, Cal.
Hey, good morning. Beautiful morning here. We got some very special guests with us to talk about this B-52 bomber you're going to see behind us. We have Brad Hovey, a major of the United States Air Force, and Corey Kaufman, civilian flight test engineer with the United States Air Force. Gentlemen, thank you for your service, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Good to be here, Kyle.
What can you tell us about this flight, this bomber here real quick?
So we brought a B-52 in out of Edwards Air Force Base, and this is one of the ones that is assigned as a test aircraft. So this is what we use to test all the new equipment that we're going to bring to the fleet. Sometimes we're testing our own equipment to improve the B-52, and sometimes we're testing stuff for other people. B-52 is a very capable airplane. So,
Corey, you obviously have a lot of experience with this. What do you think people like so much about this?
I think they like seeing an old plane fly. 8 engines, it's certainly unique. All that smoke pouring out the back, it's just an awesome experience to see it fly, and definitely unique for this area.
So what can you tell us a little bit, Brad, about what you guys specifically use this for? Because it's not operational, it's more for testing, is that correct?
that's true, yeah. So this isn't a operational, it's fully capable,
Sure.
but it's not an operational fleet. It's part of Air Force Materiel Command. Materiel Command is used, its primary mission, really, is to purchase, acquire, and then develop and test, all the way from research through the end of its life cycle, all of the material that the Air Force uses. So.
And Corey, when people come out here, what should they know about this? Obviously, you guys are giving us a lot of insight, but what are the bullet points that people really need to know about something like this?
Well, we got lots of modernization programs coming up, like engine replacement and a new radar for this aircraft, bringing it into the 21st century, making sure it stays relevant for the fight out through the 2050s.
Awesome. Gentlemen, hey, thank you both for joining us. Thank you for your service. Happy to be out here. Happy to be joined by you guys. Happy to be standing in front of this B-52 bomber. It's the first time it's been out here in a handful of years, guys, so make your way out here. One of the premier aircrafts out here at Boeing Plaza to check out them.
So cool. Thanks, Cal. AirVenture isn't the only big event starting today in Northeast Wisconsin. Right now, giving you a live look at Ray Nitschke Field, where a training camp starts later this morning. Coming up on Good Day Wisconsin, Fox 11's Ellie French will be there live to give us a look at all the excitement for another season of green and gold. Can't wait. Stay with us. Good Day Wisconsin will be right back.
Visiting Whitman Regional Airport for EAA AirVenture is part of how we live in Wisconsin. The week-long event starts today, runs through Sunday. It's Cal's first ever time on the EAA grounds for AirVenture, and I think you're loving it, aren't you?
I am loving it, Rachel. It's my first time. You know whose first time it isn't? Is Mike Bauer here from Milwaukee. Mike,
hello.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. What do you, first off, actually for the people, how many years have you been coming here?
33 years, except for COVID year.
33 years. You used to camp, now it's just some day trips.
That's right, yeah. Depending on the weather, you never know.
And what keeps bringing you back, Mike?
Technology, all the workshops, I like the ultralights, and then the military, so both sides.
And you said you used to have some experience with aviation, or maybe used to, what was that?
I used to take helicopter lessons.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what can you say then about the people out here and just the show they put on? Obviously, they draw people from all over. It's huge. They got a bunch of volunteers. The grounds are massive. I mean, You've been coming for 33 years. What can you say as such an avid fan of EAA?
It's very clean up here. There's no mess at all, and it's wide open. There's a lot of space. And you can get really close to the aircraft, and you can really look at stuff and really learn a lot.
And you were telling us that some of your favorites are the military
Yes.
aircrafts they bring in. Why is that?
Sometimes I like the noise.
Yeah.
But the older stuff is really cool, and new stuff is cool too. And you can get up really close in the square up front, like the B-52 this year.
Yeah, we just talked to the folks with the B-52 bomber you guys heard earlier. That's back this year. Anything in particular you're looking forward to this year, Mike?
No, nothing special. Just you never know what's going to be here.
Yeah, you just like coming out here. Well, and we've been talking to people from all over the place now. Of course, you just have about an hour drive. But you ever meet anyone out here from just the most far out place you can think of?
Not a whole lot.
Really?
I kind of tend to keep to myself and just keep moving because there's a lot to see.
And the history, of course, one aspect of it. What else out here, Mike, do you just really love?
It's just out in the open. Yeah. Hopefully the weather's good. You never know.
And draws so many people to Oshkosh. Coming back for as many years as you can, I imagine.
As long as I can drive.
Mike, thank
Great,
you.
thank
Hey,
you.
have a blast.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great day out here. Mike and I were joking that if the weather stays like this, there's no better place to be than EAA. There might not be a better place regardless of the weather, but just a beautiful day out here. We're going to let Mike go and enjoy the history and enjoy all the education out here. We'll go find some more people to bother.
All right, we'll check back with you then. Thanks, Cal. It does look beautiful out there. Perfect blue skies overhead. Visiting EAA AirVenture is part of how we live in Wisconsin, and we're joined by Fox 11's Cal Larson, who's live on the grounds this morning for the very first time in his life. How's it going, Cal?
For the very first time, we've had a great morning out here, Rachel. It could not be going any better. We wanted to talk to some campers. We've heard from a lot of people who have been here more than 1 year, unlike myself. Well, Frank Johnson here flew in from Texas. Frank, thanks for joining us this morning. How many years have you been coming to EAA?
Since 1995.
And you were telling us this is actually the first time you've flown in. What'd you do before that?
Absolutely. I've driven up every year and dragging a camper and kids and a wife and having a good time.
Walk us through the plane here. This is yours. Tell us a little bit about it.
This is a 1940 Aranca. It's called a 65 TC. It's a pre-war airplane. It's got a little 65 horsepower engine on it, and it's hand propped. It doesn't have a starter, it doesn't have an electrical system, and it carries very little gasoline. It was designed as a trainer.
So it looks like, what, does it fit two people, or is this a single pilot?
It's a tandem seat airplane. The instructor sat in the back, and he could see over the student's head. But it's a light airplane designed in the 40s for, in the 40 size person, 170 pounds or less. And you've been coming out here now for about 29 years. What brings you back? I mean, what's so special about EAA? Well, I love airplanes. I'm an airplane nut, and the weather doesn't hurt either, because I'm from Texas, and it's usually in the hundreds whenever we're at home,
And that's funny, we're in peak heat right now. People are always talking about the humidity. It's nothing like Texas. It's a beautiful day right here. And Frank, what can you say about the people of Wisconsin, the people of Oshkosh that put this on, and how welcoming they can be?
Oh, I love the folks, and just the small airports and the feel that you get here, everybody's great.
So what's on your agenda this week? What are you looking forward to seeing or doing?
I'm going to sit under the wing and watch the airplanes.
That's about as good as it gets. Frank, thanks so much for taking the time. Glad you made it. Now, guys, Frank was telling us he flew in yesterday. Who knows when he'll head out, but first time flying up here. Can you believe it, making that trip all the way from Texas? Well, believe it or not, Frank is not the person we've spoken to this morning who's traveled the farthest. We heard from a woman earlier. Her and her husband came all the way from England. Yep. Unbelievable how many people travel all this way for EAA. It's been a great morning. It's going to be a great week out here.
It's so cool. All right.